Good morning, Foxes. How the devil are you? How's your day been so far? How's your weekend been so far? More to the point. Well, you know what day it is? It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. in the morning. So it's time for the famous Foxes Aftermath show, run by the fans, for the fans. Your opinion matters. Get them comments in now. Let's get going. It's kickoff time. Come on, you Foxes.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Morning all, how the devil are you? I hope you're well, I hope you're good. It's not looking good for us at the minute, is it? It's not looking good for us at all. Unfortunately, I think this lady is starting to warm up. She's warming up. She's about ready to sing, unfortunately. It's going to be a tough old couple of games for us to get back in, to stay in the Premiership. I really do. It's an awful feeling. Newcastle tomorrow night. West Ham next Sunday. What are people's thoughts? What are people's thoughts? And my thoughts, a bit industrial language wise, so I'm not going to really say what I'm honestly thinking. Glimmer of hope. I don't think we've got any glimmer of hope, great. I really don't. David Barker. Morning, Jamie. Weekend. Forest winning. Yeah, Forest winning. On that note, on Forest winning, I'm going to bring my cohort in, Reedy. Morning, Reedy. How are you?
That's disgraceful, mate. That's
always like bringing you in on a Forest comment. You know how you feel about Forest, pal.
No, mate, never like that. No. What can you say? Again, to be honest, if you've got to be honest, that Forest result does not matter to us. It honestly doesn't. As much as it's not great to see them beat near top of the league, they were done for. Arsenal are done for. So for me, I'd rather be playing someone like Arsenal at the moment than Newcastle or West Ham. So what can you say? The results nearly went our way at the start of the day yesterday, but then it ended really badly.
Just what Ash has said here, our fans need to stop relying on other teams' results. It's fucking embarrassing. Premier League or Championship, we'll always follow the Blues. Yes, we will always follow the Foxes, Ash. But surely you want us to be in the Premiership more than you want us to be in the Championship. Yes? Reader, you'd want to be in the Premiership more than the Championship. It showed yesterday how much passion the Forest fans showed yesterday to help their team across the line. Where when you go to the King Power, it's like a fucking morgue. It really is. Yeah. So stop telling our fans need to stop relying on other teams. We need other teams. Ash, I don't know whether you've looked at the league table recently. We need other teams to lose and us to get at least 4 points, maybe even 6 points. So I'll give your head a wobble, Ash, if I was you. We need other teams to lose points, even if we get 6 points. And Leeds and Everton win their next 2 games. Sorry, Leeds 2 and Everton 1 game. We need to get them. We've got to rely on other teams' results as well, Ash. So get your head out of the sand, pal, and look at the league table. And we need to rely on other results. So you've got that totally arse about face there.
The thing is, you could say that, but the problem is our own team club has put us in this position where we have to rely on other results. We couldn't do the work that we had to do against the Leeds and the Evertons to make sure we were the ones to be in our hands. But now it's not in our hands. We've got to make sure we do the job that we've got to do. And if we stay up because of other teams doing worse than us, then fair play. Because even if we win both games, it might not keep us up.
We've got to rely on other results. Like you say, really, we have to rely on other results. There's no way about it. Yes, we'll always support the Blues, the Foxes. the lads, whatever you want to call them, City. Well, you can't call City because that's Man City, so they keep saying. We'll always support them, whatever league they're in, whether it's Premiership, Championship, whatever. But saying you can't rely on other results at this moment in time is wrong. Is wrong. I'm just going to bring Jono in now because Jono's our North East correspondent, and as we're going up there on Monday, Jono, how are you, pal?
I'm happy it's the game's not still today, so it doesn't ruin the weekend. So
you'll just ruin the week.
Just ruin the week, Jono. Either
well,
way.
I'm working all week, so it takes the pain away.
Oh, right. Facebook user, I think this is Wayne. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be there tomorrow, not expecting anything out of these next two games. Jono, what's the feeling up in Newcastle now about the games, the last two games? Because they very nearly qualified for the Champions League. I forgot all the competitions. All the competitions. What's the feeling up in Newcastle? Are they going to go for it, do you think, or?
Yeah, honestly, if Monday's going to be an absolute party, everyone's like going to the town, everyone's going to watch the game at home. It's going to be like a cup final for them. It's going to be everyone saying, "We love you, like we like Leicester, but you're the sacrificial lamb for us to get Champions League football. You're getting relegated." They are going to be the loudest. You thought Forest was loud. This is going to be another level.
But what I'm going on about is the passion and the Geordie fans' passion with abundance, isn't there?
They can have no players and we'll still lose. They're that passionate.
Thing is, it's so odd because it's like as much as you say there's passion in the crowd and whatnot, it all comes down to what plays on the pitch. And like I say, all season Newcastle have been insane. So why wouldn't you support it? And it's just hard now because we're playing so like lethargic and whatnot. How obviously we will support them, but it's the point now where it's like it's hard to get behind them when we just keep going 1-0 down. And what else are you meant to do?
There's only one bit of good news left: is that no matter what happens tomorrow, it still goes to the last day. But we have to win next week, and Everton have to lose.
Yeah, that's the situation. That's the problem.
Well, no, Everton and Leeds have to lose, don't I?
Yeah, because
we need to climb 2 places.
Oh yes, we do. Yeah, we have to hope for both of them.
We need to climb 2 places, and it's little records like we haven't kept a clean sheet since November the 14th when we beat West Ham away. 21 games ago, I think that is. We haven't kept a clean sheet.
And if Newcastle score, that's it, game done, because their fans will sing for a week.
We haven't scored the first goal for pass.
It nearly happened at Leeds, but never mind.
It doesn't matter about nearly happening at Leeds. It hasn't happened. You can't go on about the past. We'll sound too much like Forest fans talking about the past all the time. Yes, we've won the Premiership. Yes, we've won the FA Cup. Yes, we've won the Charity Shield in the last 7 years. But like I've been saying all season, it's the here and now that counts, not the past. That doesn't mean anything. It's not worth the paper it's written on.
Well, it does if Man City's all their titles get ripped away because they've been financially ruining the league. But
that's the thing.
If Leeds win today, because West Ham are safe, West Ham are going to be in party mood because, like Patrick says, they're also in the cup final. They've got nothing to play for now. They're safe. They're safe. They've got absolutely nothing to play for. They're not going to go injuries. They're not going to go into tackles. We did a few years ago. We played Stoke. Stoke were in the final. And we trounced them 3-0 quite easily. You could see none of their players wanted to play, wanted to touch the ball, and we trounced them 3-0 at home. Butland didn't want to make a save against Vardy, and Vardy rounded him quite easily. They're on the beach until that final. They're not going to care about anything else at all.
That's the problem. It's so odd because every other team now near us, as in Leeds and Everton, have both got easier fixtures than us now. They've done the job before now, and now they've got to the point where they don't have to win to stay up.
They've both got managers in that give you the fight, that give you the G up, give you the spirit, give you the passion that you want in Sam Allardyce. And Sam Allardyce has changed it in 2 games. You can tell the difference in Leeds. Sean Dyche, there's some fight, the passion. Yes, the results haven't gone as well as they wanted, but it's the fight and the passion that's been installed where we've had absolutely none. Just answer this one by Scooby Baz. Jamie, in your view, where do you think it all started to go wrong? Was it upstairs, obviously BR, and do you think the players have definitely not stepped up? Yeah, I think the players have not stepped up. I've been a big Brendan out since November of 2001, since we lost against Chelsea. 2021, sorry, since we lost against Chelsea. I do think the board
wasn't it when the Forest game in the cup?
No,
that was me. That was me. Like that's more than the Forest game.
Mine was when we lost to Chelsea at home, 3-0. It was like 3 months before the Forest game. But mine was then. But I think the board have got to take John Rudkin, Susan Whelan, even Top as well. Top should have pulled that trigger a lot earlier on Brendan Rodgers to give us a chance. Even if it was before the Palace game. Even if it was before that Palace game, the international break. And give whoever came in, Dean Smith. If Dean Smith had had 2 weeks with them players to get his formation in, I don't think we would have lost to Bournemouth and who was the other one? We lost. Oh, Villa and Bournemouth. I don't think we would have lost to either of them two games if Dean Smith had a full 2 weeks in charge.
If Leeds win today, are we officially relegated? I think we are, aren't we?
No, we're not.
I'm not 100% sure.
We've got to win both games and we're relying on us to lose. That's the case.
If Leeds win and we don't get anything from Newcastle, then yes.
No, it's not.
It is because they'll be 4 points clear. We have to get a point. We have to draw against Newcastle.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
If we lose against Newcastle,
if we don't get anything from Newcastle, that's it. We're down.
Yeah, if Everton win, we don't get a draw. Yeah,
massive. This is more massive than the Oxford game back in '91.
I just didn't want it. I did not want it to get to the point where we were down a bit after the Newcastle game. I wanted it to get to at least a final day, and now it's down to us to get at least a draw. If Everton win. I mean, who remembers? Where's that? Oh, the comment's gone now. So who remembers the 7-1? Anybody? Anybody remember the 7-1 at Newcastle a few years ago? Well, more than a few years ago. They won the league. They won the championship. They beat us 7-1. So let's hope that don't happen. On that note, on that note, very quickly got to add Nick and Ross. Morning, Nick. Morning, Ross. How are you?
Morning, mate. I remember the 7-1. It was at Philbo, wasn't it?
No, it was at Newcastle.
Was it at Newcastle? I thought it was at Philbo.
Yeah, it was at Newcastle. They beat us the season before. They beat us 2-1 at home to stay up. When the crowd invaded the pitch. Anyway, Nick, come on then, very quickly, your views.
Where do we start, kid? I think we're going to need a Tony James-esque end of the season to stay up, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like what Scooby asked you, was it a couple of minutes ago? Who do you blame? The players, yes, they're not good enough. We all know that they're not good enough. But I agree with what you said, Jamie. They should have pulled the plug on Brendan a long time ago, and that falls down to the board and top. You know, they've got themselves in this mess by not investing and etc. etc. So
there's too many things going on this year that we can kind of pinpoint. The Fafana going, Rodgers being here too long. You had no one bringing in any money in to bring any players in. We only got phasing because of that. There's so many issues that we had that was to why we let Casper leave. And there's so many different reasons why you could say that we were in this position. But yeah, as much as everyone wants to blame Rodgers, and I'm not going to be the one to not say it, but it's just there's so many issues that I honestly feel like if we did stay up, I don't think we'd be the same next year. I honestly don't. I think there's just too many issues going on this year to keep us out of a safe spot.
I think next year. I think we will struggle in the championship next year. Ross, what are you thinking, pal?
Do you know what? It's interesting. I was watching it's on YouTube, the Championship 2004-05 season. You know, the season after we got relegated from the Premier League. We drew half of our games, literally half of our games. And I was watching it, and we're bringing so much Premier League experience in Martin Keown, your Chris Makins, your David Connolly's. You obviously won't remember this, Jono and Jamie. Kevin Pressman conceded a goal to a goalkeeper.
Yeah, but if it was a pie, he would have caught that.
Oh, 100%. He only had 2 good games that year, and they were against Rotherham and Sheffield United. Coincidence? Anyway.
Go on then. Put your bets on 100-metre dash. Who's going to get to the pie first? Conrad Logan or Kevin Pressman?
Kevin
Conrad
Pressman.
Logan. Hey, listen.
I see how we do Logan.
To the pie. Sorry, to the pie. Sorry, I thought you meant the ball. Sorry. 100%. But no, I was watching it last night, and it just got me thinking, just like, we struggled a lot that year. And I mean, really struggled. Obviously, we had Mickey Adams coming in. He left. Craig Levine came in. Brought in Mark De Vries, obviously. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, miracle. After watching Sheffield Wednesday the other day, anything can happen in football. You know, I wish we had that fight and passion and desire. 4-0 down in the first leg of the playoffs, and then to do what they did. I mean, I can't stand Wednesday. I'm from down here, but got to give credit where credit's due. You're 4-0 down. No one gave them hope. Not even the fans give them hope, and then turned it round. Why can't we do that? I wish we can, but
it's too late now, Ross. I remember a few months ago asking, are we going to go down? And people said, oh, no, there's 3 worse teams than us. Didn't you, Reader? You said there was 3 worse teams than us. He's off. He's gone. He's gone. He remembers the comment.
But also, I remember saying to you regarding that, J-Mate, that we can't rely on the 3 worst teams, because if you rely on that mentality, that's when you sleepwalk.
Here's my take on it.
And it's happened. We sleepwalked where we are.
See, here's my take on the thing that you met someone that comment earlier where you proper laid into him, Jamie, and fair play to you. Where about relying on results. Now, it's a bit of a catch-22. We have to rely on results because we cannot get results. That's the thing. If we were like in that position where Everton are, it wouldn't be as much of a fuss. But okay, if they lose, obviously we've got to do a job. But now we're in that we can't keep relying on games 36 games later. We have that, like, end of the day, it all started. I agree with that Chelsea game, that pathetic 3-0 performance.
It could have been 6-0 as well, couldn't it?
When N'Golo Conte was just running through and no one was just like, oh, you can have a shot if you want, and scores. It's just done a lot. It's a mess. It's a massive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just this one comment, Reader, that Mark's just mentioned. If the World Cup wasn't in December, would that have changed things? We were on the foot form then. Do you think, Reedy? I know it's hypothetical.
It really didn't help. All I'll say is it really didn't help because we were in brilliant form before going into the World Cup. And then I say it hit us. Maddison went to the World Cup and it just, ever since then, he's not been the exact same player, has he? So,
well, I don't think Maddison, I know he scored 10 goals and he's got assists and got 3 assists on 2 or 3 goals in the last few games. But I don't think he's been outstanding. No. I think we play better without Maddison.
Yeah, I agree. I think Maddison just tries too hard now.
I think Tielemans, Jono, has been absolutely shocking as well.
He has.
Yeah. I mean, when Nick said earlier the players aren't good enough, they are good enough. I feel that the players, technically on paper, are not they're not European football worthy or anything like that. We're mid-table, low mid-table worthy, but we're definitely relegation worthy. It's their mentality has been rubbish. Tielemans' head has been gone since the January transfer window. Maddison's already gearing up and moved to Newcastle or Spurs. You know,
this is around Newcastle. But yeah, go on.
Sionchu's already in Atletico. You know, we've got 3 players who are already mentally elsewhere, and we've got players in the under 23s. We've got players on the bench who, yes, they're not Premier League worthy, but they'll give more of a passion and fight than the players we have on the pitch already.
But that's the problem. That's the problem, though. We've got the players like a Barnes, a Maddison, a Yuri Tielemans and stuff. Okay, yes, Sionchu's already signed his pre-contract agreement with Madrid, but those sort of guys know they're going at the end of the season, and they're worried now about putting a shift in and getting a crop which will damage their move.
That's what it's down
for.
All the players that you just mentioned there. These are all the players this season that we've moaned at. Not all the time, but sometimes in games, thinking you're not doing enough. Yuri Tielemans not doing enough. Harvey Barnes, as much as he's top goal scorer, I'm sorry, but he's just not good enough.
He's a one-trick pony.
He is.
He does exactly the same.
It's like Maddison as well. As much as you see the quality when he's on the ball, when he's trying to make passes and he's trying to do stuff, he just tries too hard and it ruins him. Again, what is he doing against Bournemouth? That game could have cost us big time. If you
know, I
use
think
that
that's
for
the
win,
goal,
yeah.
That's cost us.
No,
You
you
know,
know what I mean, though.
Do you know what I think will happen tomorrow? Now, obviously, if miracles happen, Maddison puts in the game of his life just because it's Newcastle.
We're not going to win tomorrow or
Right,
draw.
it
I promise you this right
Jono,
now, we're
Jono,
not.
Yeah, but Jono, before anyone else says anything, it would be a Leicester thing for Leicester to go up there and beat Newcastle.
No, Leicester
You
things
can't
about the
say that
window.
anymore.
No,
No, there is a Leicester thing.
It is.
It's a
I
thing.
agree with you, Jamie. It would be a
When
Leicester
you
thing
least
to go and win
expect it.
Newcastle and balls up against West Ham.
I've been right since
Typical Leicester.
pre-season.
I'm not
Even
saying-
as
I'm
Ross,
not-
I've been
Well,
right.
that's the
Hold
thing, Jono. Shush. Shoosh.
Oh.
Because if you get your Scott predictions like curse, shoosh.
I'm not saying we are going to win tomorrow, but it is a Leicester thing to go up there and beat Newcastle. We have got a pretty decent record against Newcastle.
It's
up
just
there.
so hard. It's so hard
In the
because,
league.
again, even if you beat both teams now going into the final day, as in beating both Newcastle and West Ham, it still might not be enough.
You know
That's
what?
the problem.
I agree
Yeah.
to an extent on that, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to look at it from our point of view in this. Obviously, going there tomorrow, you know, I think I just want to see us fight. Even if we lose 3-0, I want to see us fight. I want to see us going into tackles, everything. But
Ross, that's too late. That's too late.
It's
The fight and passion had to be shown months ago.
yeah. True. I don't understand why it could take 36 games. I mean, obviously, I'll be up there tomorrow night. Well, I'll be there tomorrow afternoon, actually. Obviously, I'm going up on coach. Are you working, John?
I think so, yeah.
Way around Newcastle, because last time we went, you didn't have a clue where everything were. That is true. I went, oh, do you want to go here? I said, where's that? I'm like, well, I don't know. You live here. On a
I've only lived here for 4 years, okay? I don't go into town often, so...
Listen,
Jono,
I've not been
Jono,
to Leicester
just-
in a while. I still know my way around. But anyway.
Just a quick question. Hold on, Ross. Just a
Go on.
quick question. Are you wearing your Leicester shirt in Newcastle tomorrow?
100%.
I think yes, because the notes show hate, they show sympathy.
To be fair, you won't get no flat from the Geordies anyway.
All my friends, all my neighbours
they're a
have said,
good
like,
fan base.
they really appreciate what Leicester have done. Like, but they said, like, we are fighting for the Champions League. They're all, you know, they treat this game like a cup final. They are like, I can hear my neighbours from across the street screaming. And tomorrow,
Well, you've got neighbours.
I've got tons of
Really?
neighbours.
Do you know where Plymouth is?
Do you know what?
Shut up.
Does anyone know where Rotherham is?
Yeah, it's next door to you.
But honestly,
That's Rotherham.
with a sacrificial lamb, and they're going to go guns blazing. Like Eddie Howe's going to go, and Eddie Howe was saying like, we won last week. Let's do the same performance against Leicester. If they do half the performance they did last week, they'll thrash us.
Speaking like
Is
Newcastle.
Nacho fully fit, or is he? I don't know.
Yeah, he's back fit in training. Yeah.
He's
You know
forced.
what,
Well,
though?
they said he forced him through.
Do you know what? We have upset Newcastle a few times. I remember it was their anniversary of the club existing.
This is different.
No, hang on. Let me speak a second, John. Their days exist.
Fight.
We beat them 3-2. Perez own goal for Newcastle, for Leicester, by the way. Meaning he actually scored for us when he was playing for Newcastle. Anyway, we beat him 3-2 that day, and that was their day of existence.
Just to ask, are we?
You know what? That's the first time I'm ever going to agree with Fee.
in training.
What's there to be positive about? There's nothing to be
There's not a lot
positive about.
is there?
In
Well,
training
really,
pictures, have I seen the likes of Albrighton back in training?
I hope so.
He's not in
Yeah,
the
but
squad.
he can't play because he's not.
I know. I
registered.
didn't know if he was or not, but
No,
I don't
he's
know
not
if
allowed to play. He's not
I didn't know
registered.
if the likes of players will be
I'd
back.
love an
or not.
Albright. I'd love an
Someone
Albrighton
like
on that
Justin.
pitch.
It's like James Justin. He's not in the 25-man squad, even though he's fit. But we've got Bertrand and Vestergaard, nearly 200 grand a week, doing absolutely jack shit, sitting
God.
on the touchline, not getting a
I
game.
mean, Bertrand and Vestergaard will probably get the winners in the next 2 games. We'll be laughing then.
Can I ask you a question, Nick? Have you had a fight or something? It looks like you got a black eye.
Who, me?
No, Nick.
No, I've got wicked hay fever, dude.
Oh, right.
I woke up
Gonna
this
say, I
morning,
thought
like, my
you-
eyes were all stuck together
Oh,
and God
right.
knows what.
Hey, you've been
So,
scrapping.
I cut the grass
Justin
I cut the
cracking
grass
in the eyes,
yesterday.
telling him to stop snoring in the middle of the night.
Oh, right. I was just wondering, that was all. I was just like, it was. I was like,
The councillor has said, will Nacho make a difference? I
Yes,
think
exactly.
Nacho will make a huge
He has
difference
to.
if he
He has
plays.
to. He has to. That's the problem. He has to make the difference.
Can you
If they
Google
pushed
it?
him through, Nacho has to play, has to start. And if we only get an hour out of him, he has to start, I think.
Yeah.
Start
If
up
you've got
top
any-
with Varda.
If we've got any chance in winning tomorrow, you've got to put all the passion players out there. Pratt, you've got to put KDH if he's fit. You can't be playing the likes of Yuri Tillemans and Didi and all these.
No,
They're not good enough. They're
Mendy
not
has
good
to
enough.
start. And do you know
Yeah, but we keep saying week in, week out, Mendy has to start. Why can't the management team see it, but we all can? That's the one thing I don't get.
Again,
Every time Mendy is on that pitch, he puts a shift in, and arguably he's probably the best player on the bloody pitch.
He's just got goal of the season, but yeah.
Aggie, just one question on Aggie's. Aggie replied to me on this one. Was that when Mickey Quinn got a hat-trick that day as well? That's all I want to know. I think it was, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
All I'm going to say is on that fact that you said that when Mendy needs to start, we've won 7 games out of the 8 games we played. When we've won, Mendy's been on the pitch. So.
So you can say that about KDH as well. KDH
Yeah, I was about to say,
started
you've got the same
all the
statistic.
games we've won.
What does it show then? Put them both on the bloody pitch.
Do you know what tomorrow's going to remind me of as well? Obviously, I don't know if Reedy went or Nick went or Jamie went before I started Alcúdia, and anything. We played years ago. The reason I'm mentioning this because hopefully we can do that. We played Barnsley quite a few years ago. We had to win to stay in the championship, and we took 6,500 up that day. Matty Fryatt scored. I'll never forget it. And obviously, it was an amazing feeling. Go on.
But the week before, we beat Blackburn 1-0. And that Johan Nielsen scored as well.
Yes, it was. Well, correct. I
was here then. That was my first year here. I remember that. Or second season here.
I was second season. Yeah, 2006-07. Because the year after, we beat Barnsley 1-0 Ian Hume. And then we still got relegated that year. But it was just... I just wish that, they can look back and look at, relegation fights. Obviously, I've been watching since 1997. So I've seen us relegated. I'm not going to count the 94, 95. I was only 1, so I'm not going to count that. So I've seen us relegated 3 times: Premier League, Championship. I don't want this to be a 4th, but
I think I've seen it.
It is.
I think it's 8 times for me relegation. I think it's 8 times.
8 times. If it does though, after watching that display of the day, the Football League could be exciting again. But again, it's true though. You look at them fighting passion, you think it makes you want, and also no VAR. That's the only thing to come out of the Football League in a way. But it depends who comes in, and it really depends who comes in if we get relegated.
That's it, Ross. That is Rick Ross. Again, I don't want to talk about if we do go down because again, it might be a case we don't. But I wouldn't want Dean Smith if we don't go down. I'm sorry, I don't think I would.
I agree.
I don't think I'd want him.
I just think, what would have happened to anybody else? But end of the day, we've got him now. I feel for him. Obviously, he's come in. He's basically said, "Oh, by the way, you're in the job. Oh, by the way, you got 8 game savers or 5 game savers." Same with Everson. Daniel Everson's basically said, "Oh, we've got no choice now to put you in." It's like that. It's like in Casper. You ever watched that film Kes, where at the end, where he goes, "Kes, I've got to have you." Basically, it's more the story of that to Everson and said, "Oh, Everson, we've got to play you now because Ward's been playing crap." I feel for Everson. I really do feel for Everson. It's not.
Yeah, he's been an unreal keeper.
Goal or two, apart from the odd goal or two, I felt for him. He should have been number 1 from the start. I
said that at the very beginning. Go back to my pre-season shows. I said Everson should have started ahead of Ward.
Me and you.
We all said that. But Rogers,
who didn't say that?
Vast majority of people did.
I've also said
Everson start.
I've also said from the very start of the season, we'll be going down. And I don't want to say I told you so, but I did tell you so, lads and lasses.
Me and Jamie on the same boat going, we are right.
But really saying all
I won't celebrate about being right,
John.
This is the worst feeling I've had. Like, I've been right.
You know what? It's awful at the bar. People are coming in and asking me, I'll be going down. I don't want to talk about football at the minute. I don't want to talk about football. And it's worse now because I've got about 30 odd Leicester fans coming to watch the Newcastle game tomorrow. And there could be an indoor swimming pool at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. The amount of cheers if we don't win.
Oh, you'll see me crying on telly tomorrow night, I tell you. That's one. Honestly, you will. I've said that. I think end of the day, we'll see what happens. We we've wrote Leicester a lot off this season, and it's come all true. But just think,
but Ross, we haven't kept a clean sheet since November the 14th.
Against
21 games. We're the only team in the whole of the universe not to keep a clean sheet before the World Cup. Even Derby County weren't this bad in 2009, and they only got 11 points. They kept more clean sheets than us.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
If West Ham somehow do the job over Leeds today, which again is a massive ask, and I'm not saying if, but maybe because it's I know it's all down to what happens, but if West Ham do the job against Leeds today, we've got to honestly have every single bit of passion going into that Newcastle game. If we get a win, you know what? We're on the front foot to try and get out of it. But again, it's all depending on what happens.
You won't get it from the fans at Newcastle because they're in the gods. You can't even hear them.
You know,
You get all the passion last weekend. The fans last weekend were
Ross, have you
brilliant.
seen this comment? Hold on.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
No.
Oh, no, it's not and hang on. It's not the full VAR, is it? It's just a couple of tweaks, I think, if I remember correctly.
It doesn't matter if it's VAR or VAR.1. VAR is the worst thing they ever brought into.
On that note, Ross, before you go, score predictions. We always do score predictions.
Well, I did a video yesterday with Charlie, so obviously I'm not seeing him today. So Charlie went with 2-0 Leicester. And I'm going to go with 2-1 Leicester. End the day, miracles can happen. And until it's officially confirmed, it's not over yet. Who knows what can happen?
It's not over until the fat lady sings. So,
Exactly.
Ross, what did you just say?
So, yes.
What score did you just say?
2-1 Leicester. Charlie says 2-0.
Rightio. Cheers, Ross. Let's hope you're right. Let's hope you're right. Put in the comments what everyone says. We'll see you later, Ross. Cheers, pal.
My boys.
Send us some photos tomorrow, mate. Nick.
So get out of bed.
Nick, come on, pal.
Depends on what Leicester turn up, doesn't it? If we're getting like we did last week, where the first 10 minutes we looked all right, looked like we can get something out of the game, and we keep that up for the full 90 minutes, then yeah, we might get something up. But it's all dependent on what team starts for me. I think if you start Nacho and Vardy up top together, I think if you play Mendes, KDH, there might be enough spirit in there to get us out of the mess. But the players that we want to start, I can see us win.
Come on, pal.
Newcastle.
What score? You broke up just as you said it.
1-0 Newcastle.
Oh, Nick.
I don't see us getting out of it now, Jamie. I think we've had too many chances. We've had too many chances to get out of it and bottled it every time. We're turning into bloody Spurs.
Rightio. All right, Nick. We'll speak to you through the week.
Yeah, speak to you later, guys.
Right.
I know you go.
Very quickly, Locks, you've come in a bit late, but we'll just quickly add you. Better late than never, pal. Like normal, things don't change.
Hello, mate. How are you? You all right?
How's it going? Come on, then. We're right at the very end of the show. Score prediction for you, pal. You got your onesie on.
Yeah, it's a Leicester one. It's a dressing gown type thing.
Oh, okay then. Come on then, pal. Score prediction, mate.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Newcastle. I came on to say that.
Get him off.
3-1 Newcastle.
Yeah,
So
mate.
you don't think we've got a cut and out chance, and we're not going to do the Leicester thing?
No, I think the only thing, obviously, if Villa won yesterday, they were guaranteed top 4, weren't they? So
Yeah.
that might have helped our chances a little bit. But this is the thing: like, if every single player on the pitch like gives their all, then like there's nothing.
You can't ask for
stopping us
anything else. Yeah,
well, I'm saying there's
anything
nothing. There's nothing stopping us from winning if they turn. If they all turn up, but. I just don't think they will. I think they've probably just accepted now that they're going down, like a lot of fans have. So
we just literally capitulate, don't we, Locks? As soon as that first goal goes in or a decision goes wrong for us, it just goes pear-shaped, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, we'll probably do well for the first 25 minutes, and then they'll score one because of awful defending, and then everyone's head will drop, and I think we'll be 3-0 down, and then they'll decide to play, and we'll score one. So, which seems to happen a lot. But
just like usual.
Just wanted to say as well, like really quickly, we deserve it, and I think if we stayed up, it would be unfair on Everton. You know what I mean? On the teams that stay up. No, I do, mate. Because we've been the second worst team in the Premier League this season. We have.
I agree with you.
That's why we're there. That's why we're there right now.
That's the second worst
team in the league. Yet we gave 6 points to Southampton.
Exactly.
We
gave
could argue
points to Southampton.
Yeah, so you could argue we're actually the worst team because we lost twice to Southampton. But I just think we deserve to go down, and you know, it would be, I'm being honest, it's just how I feel. I think it would be harsh on Everton if they go down instead of us. I think it's us, Southampton and Leeds that are down, and at least Leeds are going down with us.
Stand up. I just want to see whether that's a proper Leicester shirt or an Everton shirt you've got on.
I can't stand up. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so
there you go. So Locks, you're going for a 3-1. Jono, what are you going for?
My brain says 6-0 Newcastle.
Oh.
My heart says 2-1 Leicester.
No, you've got to pick one. No,
my heart, I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester.
You got a 2-1 Leicester. Reedy, what are you going for?
1-1 draw.
See, I'm going for the old.
I'm going to the final day. If Leeds win today and we draw, it means we go to the final day and we just. That's all I want. Again, if results go our way, we stay up. If results go not our way, we go down. If we win against West Ham, so it's that. That's all I'd want, just so there's a chance. So I'm happy to draw against Newcastle and go into the final game getting a win.
Yeah, Locks, you've been
West
away
Ham
for
fans all today, then, yeah?
Or West Ham fans. Still go for a 2-2 draw away from home every game, no matter what. So that hasn't changed. So it's still Desmond for me.
I want us putting out of our misery, mate. To be honest, we ain't staying up. We ain't staying up on the last day. It's not going to happen.
If your dog was dying, you wouldn't put him through this misery, would you?
No.
Fucking hell.
No, you wouldn't.
If your dog was dying, you would not put him through this misery.
Well, we have to. So.
I'm no longer negative, okay? I don't compare season to dogs dying, okay?
That's unbelievable, Jamie. That is.
I was thinking what the response, you know, how the fans would be, what the atmosphere would be like if we're already down on the last day. What would
it'd be toxic. It'd be
the boos would be louder than Newcastle fans tomorrow.
That walk around the pitch at the end of the game, there won't be many there, I don't think.
Well, it'd be like the Spurs game, wouldn't it? Bloody hell, half the ground was empty by the time that happened.
Right then, some of us have got to work this Sunday. Locks, better late than never. It's been about a year late, but better late than never, pal.
Yeah, great to be back. The famous Aftermath show. It's been a long. I have been watching every now and then. I haven't.
Every now and then, I've seen the odd comment from you. You're still there in the background, just watching us from the back. I've seen it now. All right, matey. Cheers for joining. But join a bit early next Sunday, matey.
Will do. I was sleeping, mate. I was sleeping.
All right, pal. We'll speak to you later, mate. Cheers, Locks.
Catch you in a bit. Bye.
Jono, Mr. Positivity. Enjoy your Monday. Looking forward to it up in Geordieland.
Oh God, it's going to be horrific.
It is.
The crowd.
2 days of it. There's Geordies here, and there's Leicester fans here. That's going to be fun tomorrow night. Rightio, pal. I shall speak to you sometime through the week, mate. Be good.
See you later.
See you later, pal. Read it. It's all good, isn't it? It's all good in the hood.
Yeah, it's all right, mate.
Oh God! Really?
Like I said, do you know what? I'm happy with a draw against Newcastle now. I'd take it to final day again. All down to what other teams do, but if you do the work in the West Ham game, it's all we can do, and I'm just happy that that's the case now. Because like I said, we worked it out, and if West Ham lose today, then all we do need to do is get a draw, and I think it is possible if we do try hard, but. All depends on how
we need to get something. We cannot lose. We cannot lose. We need to take it into the last game, especially if Leeds beat West Ham. Reedy, I shall speak to you later. It's time for me to go to work. Well, get ready to go to work, and I'll speak to you later, pal.
No worries in a bit.
But I don't see you through the week. I'll see you through the window, pal. Be good. All right then, pal. Everyone, lads and lasses, I shall speak to you later. It's been great seeing you. So it's ciao, adios. Yo from Dudley Light. Goodbye now. Speak to you later.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.